With some standing water, we are tracking a lot of crashes around Wake County. I'll show you the biggest trouble spots right now.
And police stayed on the scene of a stabbing in downtown Raleigh for hours overnight. We'll bring you up to speed on this developing story. Terrible crime downtown. A lot of things happening this Friday morning on your news, not the least of which is the weather. Yeah. And I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Ken Smith. Let's go ahead and get right back to meteorologist Anthony Baglione, because you've got a lot to share with our viewers in terms of this stormy day that we're experiencing.
Yeah, things have really started to ramp up here over the past couple of hours. We've been seeing multiple flood advisories or warnings issued out there right now. So I want to take you right over here to this first one. This is a flash flood warning. This goes until 10:15 this morning. It does include the city of Fuquay-Varina, Garner as well. Clayton is not included in this, but if you see anywhere in this inner polygon right there, US 401 as well, that's where we've been seeing 3 to 4 inches of rainfall here over the past couple of hours, and it's still, of course, raining right now. We could definitely be seeing some hydroplaning issues, the ponds, the creeks, streams, everything pretty high, maybe some standing water as well. So if you can, just stay home. Don't necessarily head outside right now, and just let the storm system kind of pass on through until this flooding threat at least passes here at about 10:15. We also have a flood advisory till 8:45 this morning. That's this first kind of outer polygon you see, including Wendell, Raleigh, Clayton as well. And then we have yet another one here back to the west. That one goes until 10:45. Sanford is included in this, and just to the west of Fuquay-Varina. So the advisories are saying we are also anticipating more rain on the way, and it still could see some ponding in those areas. The flood warning, though, means it's really happening right now, and plan for some potentially dangerous conditions out there. Here is Futurecast. So it's a little bit underdone for us right now where we're showing the rainfall, but nonetheless doing a pretty good job of showing from the triangle to the north is where that heaviest coverage is going to be. We will watch that continue here throughout today with same spots that have had the flooding issues this morning, and then start to migrate a little bit further to the south. Goldsboro, Fayetteville, if you're not seeing the rainfall right now, which you've been fairly dry tonight, this evening, definitely going to be a different story. I'll talk about here the rest of the weekend forecast, how our Easter looks coming up here in just a few minutes, Brian.
Anthony, at 8:02, we're going to take you to our traffic map. You'll notice there's a lot of green on this map because traffic volume is pretty light this morning. We're not seeing any delays at the usual spots like 40 westbound right around the Clayton bypass, but we are picking up some delays on the eastbound side of I-40 in Garner. There's a report of a minor crash right around the Business 70 interchange, and those delays begin around Jones Sausage Road. Right now we're measuring about a 22-minute backup heading away from 440 in South Raleigh down into Garner. There's a look at that camera at Jones Sausage Road where those delays begin. If you can pick up 40 eastbound from Business 70, you'll be on the other side of those delays. And again, the westbound side looking okay at this point, maybe a little bit of brake tapping right around the Clayton bypass. Another crash that we've been following this morning, creating some pretty big problems, is on the south side of Raleigh at Lake Wheeler Road around Centennial Parkway. This is an overnight crash that they're still working to get cleared, and they're still investigating it. Apparently some pretty serious injuries with that crash right there by the State Farmers Market. Lake Wheeler is closed right now between I-40 and Centennial. If you're trying to get between I-40 and downtown, consider using South Saunders Street. And if you want to get to the State Farmers Market, you could use Maywood Avenue and come in that way and rejoin Lake Wheeler Road on the other side of that closure. Here's a look at Doppler radar. And again, we're still seeing that rain falling across much of Wake County. The WRAL storm tracker right now is on 401 heading away from Garner down toward Fuquay there on the southbound side. And you can see with the windshield wipers going. And the rain's still falling there. We are running into some pretty wet conditions through much of the triangle. So it's just a reminder to slow down and look out for standing water. It seems as though over the past 15 or 20 minutes, I haven't seen as many reports of standing water. So it may be receding a little bit as that rainfall rate eases up just a little bit. But still, you're running into some pretty tricky conditions. And we'll have another update coming up in about 10 minutes.
Brian, thanks. So crews are busy in northern Wake County this morning clearing up this crash. It's on I-540 near Creedmoor Road. Our news crew was on the scene as a tow truck was removing an SUV that flipped on its side, taking out a guardrail. Troopers tell us a vehicle hydroplaned. 2 other vehicles got caught up in that crash. One sustained heavy front-end damage. No reports of any injuries, though.
And at least one person was seriously hurt this morning in a crash on Lake Wheeler Road. This one happened before 2:30 on Lake Wheeler Road, right near Centennial Parkway, State Farmers Market, NC State campus area. WRAL News saw a sedan that was just mangled in the woods beside the road, and it appeared that the car hit a tree. One person involved was taken to a local hospital. A black car with a shattered windshield also appeared to be part of the police investigation. So they put the tape up all around that intersection there. It was blocked off. and it's unclear if weather was involved in that crash. Since the Lake Wheeler Road and Centennial Parkway intersection in front of I-40 is blocked, drivers exiting I-40 right there, State Farmers Market, Lake Wheeler Road, exit 297. You're unable to make that right turn onto Lake Wheeler Road. So it's a big problem. Drivers can use Gorman Street to get around that closure.
Well, crime scene tape is gone nearly 14 hours after violence at a store in downtown